Okay, 1773. Good luck. That should be green there. Opponent's on site, but not on the game account. Now he's left the site. It was green on the site, then he's left the site. Okay, we might just have to look for another opponent. Okay, we do. Let's just go back, look for another opponent. If you see any 5s in scores, that means those players are using Berserk mode. 300 players in this now, that's very good. Okay, 1599, good luck. Again, that should be green, just gone green now. Okay, we're playing Loretti from the black side. It's fashionable these days to play an early e3, but we're kind of deviating straight out of the Loretti now. Okay. It's going to develop. I might go after the removing the defending bishop immediately here. Come forward. Okay. I wonder if I can actually take this way. Take. How do I want to do this? Normally I'll just do this. I've got lots of options. I mean, I could do c6 as well. Let's go c6. Takes I can take back, and then it activates the queen if I need to. But I'm just going to look at something like this, I think. Or just get the bishop out in the castle. Then just worry about what to do. That's what I generally do. The general approach is just castle and then think about attacking afterwards. Get the cursor off the board there just so there's no accidental slips. So comes forward. I think I'm just going to play a knight up here, maybe rook across. I could sack a pawn if he comes forward. He's leaving his king and his rook very vulnerable if he does. So he's played pawn up. So he might be wanting to look at bishop this way, which could be a bad mistake. So here I can throw a check in and castle, sack a pawn, but his defenses are really vulnerable. I'm going to do that and see if he actually goes this way, having played g3. I can throw a check in to get my bishop out of the way, trade it if he blocks, castle. He can potentially take and grab a pawn, but then his king's defenses are all over the place. So I think that's a pawn worth gambiting. Well, he might not do that, of course. He might just be sensible and go here. But it gives me the option, so at least I've got the option of a check and castle. Yeah, that's exactly what he's gone for. So I'm going to throw a check in. I'm going to make sure I get castled. I'm going to sack a pawn here. And then something like this. And his king's going to be in a very, very dangerous position here. So take. Okay, now I could do that straight away. But I think I need to castle and see if he grabs the pawn. He does. Now, oh, he has taken as well. So now I do have the option to play bishop here as I planned. He can't really castle this side. He walks into a pin. So I'm going to spend a move doing it. I think it's a pawn well gambited, but if he gets a good defense, it could be just a lost pawn. I see rook across is a very natural move, trying to get forward. Queen up is a move. Knight up might be a move at some point. But yeah, he's kind of attacking before thinking of his own king's safety. That's the feeling I get here, but it might turn out to be fine. It's risk and reward. Okay, so he's played queen back. So I've got bishop in to kick the rook, but I don't think I want to do that. I think I'm looking at sacking another pawn just to stop him castling. I mean, I could play queen up first, I suppose, actually. Let's go with the queen. We're just trying to stop this move. And stop this move at least in one go. And I guard the pawn so I can release the rook. It might have been a bit much gambiting 2 pawns. Right, so now he's had to step forward. So now I can maybe bring the bishop back. Knight up here, here. Don't quite like that. So I'm going to play rook across to tempt him to go forward here. Eventually he can activate his rook, so I'm not going to try and be too bold right now. Rook across could be a queen for 2 rooks, but lose the pawn as well. So it's risk and reward. He could get the pawn, keep the pawn. It could be better in the long run. So where do I want to go here? I'm assuming I just want to move the queen across. I don't see anything else. Still try and guard the pawn if I can. Threaten a pawn. Maybe bishop up. I'm going to come here now. Now I am threatening a move like knight forward. And he can't just take without a pin. Again, he could sack a pawn back to open a file up. Again, it's dangerous potentially. Again, cursor off the board so there's no accidental slips. Rook forward, okay. So I think I do want to kind of go forward here. Still got to be paying attention, got to be a little bit careful. There's no obvious way through if he sits and holds tight. Although I'm threatening to simply take a knight, aren't I? Take, take, take. There is actually a threat there. He's got to watch this as well, so the rook can't afford to wander off. The queen would be lost. But I'm threatening to simply grab a knight here. He needs to see that, because he can't move the other to take back. And obviously if he takes, he's pinned here. That would be a piece lost in the next move. Oh, he's disconnected there. He's disconnected. I hope he hasn't just deliberately disconnected and abandoned the game. Oh, he's just reconnected. Okay. So what do I want to do? Take, he takes here. I don't like that. I'm just going to take the pawn back. So I'll pre-move here. Oh, now he suddenly played quickly, although I trust this is legitimate. I'll have to keep an eye on things now, just in case. The bishop back is basically what I'm looking at here to put pressure on the king, but it might allow the king to run away. Well, he's played knight back, so that kind of pushes me to where I need to go anywhere. Do I go in here? I don't think so. Check, and he'll go back here. Then I can start doing something like this, I think. Maybe try and get forward. Oh, he's actually running the other side. Now that I didn't expect. So maybe just queen up to pressure the pawn. Again, I'm gambiting this pawn, but it feels like it's something I should risk. Can I push in the middle, actually? It frees my bishop up to come back, so there's a threat here. And I'm threatening to just take and open the center up. So actually, yeah, e5 looks strong here. If he comes down here, if he comes down... Here, bishop down, rook down. He's double attacking me there. Now I can defend the bishop. It feels like something I should risk, but my other move I'm looking at is simply queen here. Then I can't move the pawn. Now I'm going to push the pawn. I'm going to try and open the king of hearts in the open. If down, what do we do? I can always activate a rook first, I suppose. I'm not sure which one. This one might be better left here defensive for now, but I can move either rook across if he pushes. Yeah, probably the F rook, probably, but we'll have to think about it. If he takes a pawn, I think I would play rook across with a check first and then look to take back the following move. Just get a rook developed with tempo. Okay, so the king's run. So same sort of thing. I think I can take here. I mean, I could throw in a move like rook up first, but it might be good, but it might be taking unnecessary complications that I don't need. Here, maybe a move like queen up at the right point. Or here, rook across, and that king is very perilous. That feels good. Rook up here first, just to try and take back. Feels a bit unnecessary, but if I go here, what does he do? If he goes there, he loses a queen, so it's a chance to blunder. If he comes down... Actually, he's only got a couple of squares. If he goes there, I check and I take the queen. Although I guess he can go there. No, but then I check again and I win the queen. So that's a chance for him to blunder, actually. And so the only other two squares he can go are these two. So I take, he takes, and I take. But actually, it looks like a good move, doesn't it? I'm going to do it. It gives my opponent a chance to potentially blunder the queen. If he comes here, I think I can just sidestep. Or I could, no, actually, if he comes there, I'll just take the rook because it's a check. It's a check. Looks very difficult for white now. There might be a perfectly good moves here, but it looks difficult. The king's been so open for the whole game. Well, actually, no, I've just realised if he goes there, if I check here, he goes across. I take, he takes, and then I collect the rook. That's right. If I just tried to check here to deflect the king, the rook can actually take. So I would throw a check in. If he blocks... Actually, maybe he can just block. Actually, maybe it's not that good. Here, check. He can just go here and block. That's what he's done. So I can throw a pawn up. I can just simply take the pawn like I planned. That might actually be better. Check. And he plays rook here. It protects the queen. And if I take, he can just take back. So I think I just take the pawn here, nice and calm. If he plays a move like rook up, I can... well, if he went there, actually I could take with a check, but I've always got a reserve move to play the rook back and guard the queen. So just nice and calm and try and push the pawns forward. Just don't forget about the rook and give him a free piece. So he's played the queen back. So now I've got the option to check. I guess he goes there. We've got the option to take and try and really open things up. That's the option I'm more favouring, I think. But again, it's risk and reward. It does open up a diagonal, but I don't see how he utilises it. So it's whether I want to plant a pawn here, but that's something for him to guard the king behind. So I'm going to take. But I want to get this rook into a better position now, I think. So obviously try not to blunder something here. Very easily done. Maybe queen up. But this rook feels a bit misplaced now, so maybe just drop the rook back. So we've gone from a pawn down to a pawn up. Yeah, I'm just going to drop back and trade a rook. I'm up a couple of minutes on the clock. It feels like I've got a good position. I just try and be sensible. Okay, so he's played rook back. Now I could, again, give him a chance to blunder by taking because there's a pin threat. So a move like queen up. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to attack a pawn, and if he takes, the bishop will pin the rook to the king. Maybe queen c3 might be a decent move here, but we can just consolidate. I think maybe rook e6. So queen up gives the king a square, guards the pawn. I can maybe play a move like rook across. Oh, he's played one square further. Okay. So again, he still can't take without getting pinned there. So I could activate my other rook. I've just got to be a bit more careful about back rank mate threats here. That looks like a decent move to me, but I haven't given my king a breathing square. But there is no rook down, the bishop covers. If he takes, I simply take. So it looks like a good move, so I'm going to play it, but I'm risking a back rank checkmate if I miss something. But he can't grab the pawn because he just walks into a pin. Again, rook down I could take with a check and then take next move. Or even just take the rook immediately. Yeah, queen c3 might be the move. The move I suggested, the move before, might be his best move here. And then I might have to play a move like h6 just so I've given myself some sort of square. Then I can look at, say, rook d3. He's down to the last minute now, so we've got time here. Oh, he's taken, so he's blundered it. So we just drop back and pin the queen. I say rook down we could take with a check or take the queen with check first. So that should be good enough. Very difficult position for white there because of the lack of king safety early on, really. Obviously, engines being engines might say he was perfectly fine for most of the game. Okay, the knight's come forward, so I'm going to take with a check. Okay, so I can throw a check in. Obviously, I'm aware my queen is under attack. I can grab a pawn. Well, I think I should throw a check in first. I could try and pin the rook there. I mean, difficult to defend as well, isn't it? But I'm just playing the clock down now, just trying to make sure I don't blunder it. So again, I can check, the knight can block. And then I really want to just do a simple move just to make sure I don't blunder something sloppy. So just throw a check in, push a pawn, and then I can't blunder it. Okay, knight's gone there, so I'm going to push that pawn. He can't take there because of the pin. So we're going to get a win, or we should do. So obviously I can take, he takes here, I can check. There's no back rank mate threat here, so just take. And we get the win.